Across America, the challenge of putting food and fresh produce on the family table has become an acute problem. It is no different for many Texans. In big cities like Dallas, existing food banks and churches helped feed tens of thousands of people during the COVID epidemic, and continue to do so during this time of inflation and high food costs. Rural East Texas is no different regarding the need, but the resources are limited compared to the cities. The need was recognized by a nonprofit organization called Colinasway, which means the way of the hill. Hills depict challenges that we face, and food insecurity is one such challenge. Partnering with area food pantries, the Stillwater Farm Market Store, and generous donors, Colinasway will tackle this food challenge and bring wholesome, farm fresh produce to rural East Texans.
Colinasway is a nonprofit corporation, and we felt like that we could raise the money in donations to address the food insecurity issue in East Texas. But we really didn't have a mechanism for how we would deliver it. What would the delivery system be?
In partnership with local pantries and Stillwater Farm Market Store, Colinasway initiated the Picklin Parson Food Club so that East Texans could secure the necessary fresh produce for their families with a sense of dignity, respect, and feeling the love from people who care, many whom they may never meet.
This is how the food club works. People go to their local churches or to the food pantries here locally, and they receive a token or a red bag from them, and then they come in and they sign a form. They can fill out as much of the form as they feel comfortable with. And just as long as they give us their name, we're okay with that, maybe a telephone number. And then we take $2 from them, and then we tell them, turn around and look on the table, look in the cooler. There's all these baskets of all this delicious, beautiful produce, and you get to pick 5 baskets of your choice, anything that you'd like to have. And once you do that, then we'll see you next week.
This lady held up the little red bag and said $2. And I thought, well, that sounds good, save us money. And it was good. So I came up here, and I've been coming about 4 months now. Yeah. And it's all good food. It's not spoiled, and it tastes so good, and it helps us. And you're helping a lot of people at church too that can't afford things, older people.
The Stillwater Farm Market Store staff explains what an impact the food ministry has had within the local community.
There is a great need in this area. We see more from our elderly group. We have seen the case where people said that they had to make the choice between buying medicine or buying food. And if we can help that, or anybody that we can help, that's what we want to do.
Truly, I've had a lot of people look at me with tears in their eyes and say, thank you so much. We are so grateful for everyone who has put this together for this community, because it's just been such a blessing.
The response to this challenge and the mission targeted by Colinasway has been overwhelmingly successful, with twice as many families participating weekly than was anticipated. Resources and funding are being stretched to the limit. To continue to tackle food insecurity, good partnership, sound administrative practices, and generous donors are all necessary in order to make farm fresh produce for the choosing available at nominal cost to East Texans.
As we started sharing the story about the need in East Texas, we had a very generous donor give us a large gift that allowed us to see a future for this food ministry. And so, Colinasway adopted what we called the Picklin Parson Food Club. And at all of the pantries, for the first 2 months, we delivered bags of produce, fresh produce, to these food pantries that didn't have any fresh produce. And in turn, they gave their clients one of these, a little token, the Picklin Parson Food Club token. and they were instructed that if they went down to the Stillwater Farm Market store, they could present the token and sign up to be part of the food club. And they did. It started with just a trickle, and then it started to pour. We were contracted with Stillwater Farm Market store for 150 families. We'd done work with an attorney to make sure that there was no conflict of interest. And we did all of our due diligence related to the Colinasway Incorporated 501c3 and the store, the LLC, of which I've been a part, to assure that there was no one making any money, no one making any profit, and of course, Colinasway has no paid employees or directors. So we were off and running. 150 families was our goal, and we, in a matter of weeks, surpassed that to the point that today we have 250 families signed up for the Picklin Parson Food Club. We see a real need for this, and we don't see a real end in sight. But we are going to tackle this project and going to continue to raise the money that will be needed in order to pull it off. So I want to thank you for the way that you are supporting the Picklin Parson Food Club initiative, and the way we're being able to serve the greater East Texas area has been a true blessing.